The KLPGA Tour is live and underway from the SIENA Baluto Country Club in Yeoju. This is the third round of the SIENA Open, our first domestic tournament of the 2026 season. My name is Adam Jenkins. We're thrilled to have you along with us as we welcome you to our coverage, 2 p.m. local time in the Gyeonggi province here in Korea. We started with 120 players. After 2 rounds, we cut that number down to 62. And there's been a pretty consistent theme throughout the week so far, and that is who has been dominating this tournament. One Coach One, who we will feature heavily today. And the necessity on a Saturday, always the way, trying to set yourself up the best position possible heading into Sunday's crowning round. Coach One with a 2-stroke advantage currently at 12 under par. Kim So-ah is the amateur. She is one of the great stories of the tournament thus far. One of 2 players, 2 back, tied for second at 10 under. This at the par 4 ninth. A left to right breaking putt that had way more action on it than had been expected. Bit of a nervy one coming up next as she prepares to putt for par. So Gyorin is there or thereabouts, isn't she, at 9 under par. As she begins the first hole of the back 9. Similar distance on the look at birdie. Much closer attempts, but nothing doing. Kim So-jung narrowly on the green, just inside the outer right rough in the corner at 9. She'll stay at 7 under with that putt. John. Birdie on the par 5. Stayed straight and true from the time it left the putter to the time it sailed past the hole. At 4 under par. 1 birdie today, it came back at the 3rd. 3 already on the round for Kim So-ah. An eagle in the opening round. A double bogey yesterday on the back 9. A bogey at 14. Tough stretch right in the heart of the back 9. She is able to rattle that one down. 3, 7, and 8, her pickups on the way out with the score of 33. Issei, after her tee shot at 10, found the fairway. Approaching with confidence. First birdie since the 5th, and she's bogey free through 11. Start of the round 6 back, still some climbing to do. EA1 in the top 10 as you'd expect her to be. She's had an ace already today. Hold out on the par 3 7th. I'm sure the cameras were rolling, and I'm sure that replay's been shown to the SBS audience a time or 2 already. Hopefully we get a look at it at some point this afternoon. It's turned into quite the comfortable afternoon after, quite frankly, a bit of a miserable morning. Very rainy, very wet. Now that's great for the greens. Did mean, though, it was a bit of a chaotic start, let's just say, with the conditions of the course until the wind and the sun were able to come and help us dry things out. Soft green's not soft enough to keep that approach on. Tell you what, there's no doubting where you're aiming this early in the season. Pick the green. The color will track you all the way in. Young Eugene plays the next approach. Moves within 2 or 3 meters. Perfectly placed. Our leader, Coach E1, follows suit. It's very representative of how she's played so far in the event. Shots like that the reason she is leading and has been leading pretty well wire to wire. At the end of every day, it's been her. 5 birdies, 1 bogey in the second round yesterday. Good. Coach one said, okay, anything you can do, I can do too. Two wins for Coach one last season. Season 1 coming out party. She's number 3. Hyun. I'm grateful to have found the front there, letting her play a chip closer to the pin than we would have got her. It's always been a very impressive short game player. Well, anytime see a player stand up that fast after a putt, it's usually a bad sign. Here's Park Ju-young. Looking for birdie at 13 up the hill and wedges that between the flag and the cup. She'll go into a tie of 10th now at 6 under par. Very nicely. You see he's starting the back 9 off. Very strong performance at 10. He's at 9 under par. So, as an amateur participating this week as an invited player, he's tied for second place after a 4-under score on day one. Improved to 7 under after 36 holes, trailing the leader by just a pair of strokes. Speaking of the leader, this is certainly not straightforward for us. The break will look right to left, and it'll be pretty hefty. And she was worried she hadn't given herself enough room and nods in concession. She'll settle for a par. Disappointing one. Out with the 33, also an ace. At number 7. Apparently number 7 is the magic holds today. How often do you see multiple in the tournament, let alone multiple on the same hole on the same day? Hyun. First domestic tournament in 7 months. Korean greats. To snag for par. Missed birdie from Kochi 1 opens the door ever so slightly. Similarly, close range putt this time carries too much speed. Has a 180 around the pin, 360 more like, and pops out the other side. Still out with a 34, an impressive 9 from Young Eugene. Too, who has just had, well, quite frankly, an opening 9 to forget. Bogeys 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, and a double at 3. It's +7 at the turn, and she has gone from being qualified for the featured pairing by virtue of her great play yesterday to falling almost down to the bottom of the cut portion of the leaderboards. No need to worry about the source of the water for our waterfall today. There was plenty of it this morning, turning into a very comfortable afternoon for golf here on the KLPGA Tour. Kochi 1's advantage remains at 2. On the midpoint of her round, we'll come back with the back 9 beginning for that group, and the back 9s continuing for many others on page 1 of the leaderboard. Hope you'll stay with us.
알겠습니다.
So the back nine begins, and Coach E1 still has the on. First to drive. So many aspects of her game have just been ticking along without incident throughout the week. You look at the tee shots. Maybe the one area where she might feel like she can improve it slightly, the accuracy at least. 65%. Really been picking up her strokes, the strokes gained, the approaching side of the equation. And Eugene, a 2007 born pro. Won her first KLPGA Tour victory. She'd won a pair on the Jump Tour over the years, but this is certainly something of unfamiliar territory for the young golfer. Just 2 events on the Top Tour, a couple of majors. A runner-up finish on the Dream Tour last year as well. That was the 14th Tour event in September. Won twice on the Jump Tour in 2025. In the heart of the summer as well. Not to mention a couple of qualifying tournaments that she won to make some of those aforementioned competitions. It's over to Kim Soa next. Gonna need some power. This is uphill. Where it comes in once she was past the cup. A little late to get back onto the preferred line. Well worked and well deserved birdie. So Yoreem, at number 11, moves into a tie for seconds. That makes it 3 players at that score. Young Eugene at 121 meters. Second shot and first after the drive. So B plus with the wedge there. Kim Jeong 2 goes well to the left. A big green, there's no doubt about that. Meters here for EA1. Simple wedge, and she almost went pin seeking once again. Coach E1 with their pitching wedge. Settles in just in behind her partner. See if she can search for a little bit of redemption after her miss at the last. Still some breathing room with the gap at 2 strokes, though there is certainly a growing number of challengers just in behind her at 10 under par. Moving day Saturday on the KLPGA Tour, the first time on Korean shores in 2026. back to the SIENA Open 2026. Pick things back up on hole number 11. Par 5, the second shot in the sequence of this very narrow hole ends up off the left and into the tall grass. Coach Yuan was in a similar position one hole ago. It's an identical outcome, albeit this putt coming from a little bit deeper. Close call. Gallery was ready to roar, that's for sure. Putt that broke in exactly the opposite direction. To go right to left, it went left to right instead. Just a simple punch out. The lie was anything but simple. The outcome is the desired one, though. Cutting from the fringe, downhill all the way. It's very nicely judged. Speaking of off the green, in iron 2. Sit up with the pitching wedge. The line looks beautiful. It's up in a very good position. Punching the air one's way that time. All pars since her ace on number 7. Still all smiles for Coach Yuan. So as 171-meter third shots. That's what it was to the hole, so it probably plays closer to 200. That was launched.
신경 안 써도 돼. 진행하겠습니다.
Coach E1 off to the beach. Not sunny enough today to want to do that. Hold that drive off the tee, and be curious to see how she fashions up her recovery. Sonia Bean with a little pullback with the backspin. Very nicely on. No such trouble for young Eugene that Coach E1 faced with the driver. That leaves Kim Ji-young too. Clear cut. Fairway regulation. The others will have some complications, let's just say. Notable player, So Eugene. That's certainly accurate. Going up looking for a birdie, stops it short. That's again 151 meters out. 14 and a half meters above the flag. Beneath it, pardon me. And it's the wind giving her an assist on that high lofted shot. Kimisoa from off the back of the well. Doesn't look overly satisfied with that, so is wanting more. One drive at 12. She's typically very solid with that club, and that shot was no exception. so on. Putting for a par to stay within 2. Nice save. G1, second shot of the par 5. Rip and rip, as they say. Sonia Bean for birdie. 6 under par. After that quick scan, first pickup of the day. Young. Short and simple. One hole closer to the finish line now. Close call. Just when we thought, okay, she's taken a misstep. No, not possible. Right out from the sands. But you want to 85 meters out. Wind flag hardly moving at all. meters closer, 81 exactly, young Eugene. This putt's perfectly read and perfectly struck. This is the fairway significantly. She's on the opposite side of the cart path. Fortunately, that ball wasn't lost.
Nice one.
Very well indeed on the green. No changes over the last 10-15 minutes as we near the end of our opening hour here at the Sienna Open. Kochi won at 12 under. That's the lead from Sokyo Reem, Kim Soa, and Young Eugene. Issei Hee, Chung Soo-yi, EA1, Han-chi 1. That is page 1 of the leaderboard this afternoon on a Saturday in Gyeonggi. Well, sometimes the gallery can do the announcer's job, or at least make it much more of a colorful picture. Exasperation, frustration from the supporters and the athlete herself on that missed first putt. Here's 12. EA1 163 pinned today, as we've seen, all the way to the back. 6 yards from the rear fringe and 7 yards from the left. It's long. Not too bad. Bit of an illusion, that camera angle as it pans over. Beg your pardon, I was looking at hole 14. Of course, that's right where she wanted to be at 12. Coach E1 now, the leader, has not been able to make any more ground since hitting 12 under. Two. So 5 under par. She has to work for this one. To go. Sonia being one of 4 players now, tied for 10th. Off her first birdie of the round. Been all pars other than the 9th, which she bogeyed. Jump 2 with the birdie, up to 2 under par. So tee shot at 12 also takes a carom out to the right into the rough. Amy Jung at 14. She'll have the wind as an assist. Bit of a crosswind. See the flex in the pin. She had her weight sorted out on that putt. Degree wedge for Sogyorin here at 13. Lots of zip to it. A bit more than she would have wanted had she landed 3 or 4 meters beyond the flag. Could be having a much different conversation. One to a couple of feet past. Paxson Hyun. Downhill putt for birdie here. 6 under on 15. He's into the home stretch. take this to the right. Oh, that's a completely different mind altogether. That's a nice putt. She trying to avoid a bogey and has done so, keeping herself at 8 under. He also avoids the drop by rolling in that par. Completes the trifecta. It's a perfect 3 for 3. Sung Hye Bin went for everything. This now infamous par 4 12th, the blind approach. He was gesturing to the right. Second time in the last quarter of an hour or so, she's reached deep into her bag of tricks to pull out a 9+ meter putt. So with her 6-iron, just enough to clear the fringe. Stays at the front of the green though. So Gilream not able to rattle the pecking order as it's currently constituted. Kim Jion 2. Strokes it into the wide open fairway, first in the group to begin. Flexing with her power. .399 yards, 365 meters. She won. Let the club drop. She knew something was slightly off. Made a beeline for the cart path. We did mention if there had been one part of her game this week that wasn't ticking all the same, it was that driver. Spraying a little bit left and right.
What? Hey, go!
Eugene looking at her round, and she certainly isn't alone in this fact, but towards a dozen holes on the trot, all pars, bit of a cold streak right now.
(230m)
peek up the hill and find her range. Takes two this time round. We're about 5 feet away. Just staying inside left and going this. That's a tough one. Spin. The end of that approach. The only one of the three to go beyond the flank. Par for the amateur, keeping herself in striking distance.
중앙이 피는 거.
그치? 우측보다는 왼쪽이 좀 나.
Jiang 2. 185 meters, setting up what she hopes will be a birdie on hole number 12. It's a good one. He up to 10 under. It's a growing number of players in that provisional runner-up position.
거기가 타네. 새끼가 한 66. 66이 80.
Kochi 1 over the shrubs, through the fringe, and onto the green. Let's take a look at number 12 in general today. Soojin, An Sunju, Chung In-soo, Hana Arun, the only players all day to birdie it. It's proven to continue to be a tough nut to crack, just as apparently that putt for birdie was for EA1, unfortunately. It's Kim So-ah.
Ooh.
Comes off the driver and nods to her caddy. And we will hand it off to a quick break. And we'll see that the runner-up position has some additional company now, thanks to a recent birdie. Kochi 1, it is almost the exact same story as EA1, or at least had been until EA1's birdie at 11, where she made a race at 7, and from there got on a little run of pars. Her advantage is 2, and we'll be back in 2 with more from the SIENA Open. And welcome back. 3:17 p.m. local time. So we're right around half of the way through moving day. Last 45 minutes, there hasn't been much in the way of moving, so Gurim hopes there isn't some moving down. But as she lips out on that putt for birdie, she'll return to 9 under par. Kochi one at about 20 meters. No likelihood on that putt. It was always going to be one to set up the next. Delivers a big birdie. That she will be thinking long and hard about. It's by a centimeter or two to the inside left. Clear. Shoves it over the water at 12. And that is as close as you can get without the make. This one on the other side of the coin is too quick, so Kochi one will be bogeying, and that has certainly made things a heck of a lot more interesting in the next few holes. So maybe this would be right up there with the putts of the round. Should it go? Bogey is confirmed. Kochi 1 to 11 under par. So up. And this is interesting because this is to save a par. Fortunately for her, she gave it a really good crack, but it's not enough. Roar on one side. Let's see if we can get an answer to what that might have been caused by. We got our answer. I think we got our answer. Coach E1 trying to put that bogey behind her. Faster you can play the next shot, the better. You say he would have been for a share of the lead. Towards the bunker, but we'll stop short of it. Kimsoa. She was in the sand momentarily, but enough pace on it to blast through. Just the voids rolling back in. Just inside the fringe, catches a piece, but not enough ready to be realized. One is back on the right foot now. The putter has let her down at times today. So Jean, a close call. From the rough onto the green. Next up, Eugene. One of 3 players at 9 under. It's 82 meters out. So we're trying to get all the way towards the back where the green winds and say she's done that and then some. The fountain providing a sense of calm. Is on the green. Sylvia Reed next. And weight-wise, speed-wise, exactly right. This does need one more touch. Okay, so finally some activity up and down both. Kochi One's bogey takes her to 11 under, leaving Issei sole possession of second and within 1 stroke, 1 hole further along. And as mentioned, it's Sogyo Reem, Kim Soa, and Young Yo-jin all tied for third. So we step aside and we'll be back with more after a short break. Our coverage of the SIENA Open on the KLPGA Tour continues.
친 거 아니야?
So here we go with young Eugene in our feature group. Trying to catch Issei He, time for second. The break on that putt had other ideas. Already 2 aces on the day. Nobody's grabbed the keys yet to that gorgeous Audi Q5 Sportback. Coach, you won. Great to see her pick that birdie back up. It's almost like the misstep at 12 sort of acted like a cold shower, a splash of water to the face, woke her back up. One 6-iron officially at the pin today. 17 yards deep and 10 yards from the right. And that first rise. It's a tricky putt for EA1. Downhill, change of speed, change of direction. Nice make. Tip of the cap to the gallery applauding the birdie. Matasson, 5 under par. So tied for 14th, but it's no longer true. Tied for 10th now. the putting surface. A little bit more muted this time. So 2 under par for the day. Jeong to 150 meters out, a big climb up to the green and a nice push with the breeze at her back, does really well. Kochi 142 to the back and off. Doesn't stop until the rough. A bit too much club that time. Mustn't have quite accounted for the wind. Is she back on? Nope, looks like she's stopped up on the fringe. So Gilream 68 meters. Short wedge up the hill. Almost lands in a divot. Okay, so it was only a brief delay for Coaching One following her bogey until she was able to return to the score she had previously been and restore a two-stroke advantage. She has been our leader since day one, fitting that she remains as such with about an hour to go on a Saturday afternoon in Gyeonggi, the SIENA Open 2026. So Gilream from off the back of the green, just a short pitching wedge to roll her to the point at which she will putt for par. Close call. Lose one more. Close call. Bit off a bit more than she could chew that time.
서교림 파이팅!
서교림. Kim Ji-young 2. She's down to 2 under par. She had been 6 over to this point. 5 over, unfortunately, is still a fairly tough day at the office, but at least it's been a much calmer back nine compared to the front. The 6-footer is no trouble with whatsoever. Shorter. Kochi won the par. So to 15, 4 holes remaining, 2 of them will be par 3s.
내일 가자.
Right on time. as well. Look back, it's one of our notable players today. This was the putts for birdie on 12. Hear and feel the pent-up desire from the gallery to have something to cheer about. And notably, just a couple of holes later from the border of the fringe, Ray sponsored athletes. And this about 3.5 years. Most of the time we were wondering when they would return the birdies. Well, that's our answer. Nice trio there. We've got yet today to an ace at 15. Aces, as mentioned earlier in the broadcast. 7 courtesy of VA1 and Coach 1. More break than she got. Guarantee on this putt for par either with the movement we know it'll have. So a G finished around at 8 under. More than a little magic. Sahi. The approach on the par 5, the final of the rounds. Nods her approval. Responsible for more than her fair share of exciting moments and memorable moments this week. Still about 20 holes to find some more. Could be quite the story. From the fringe, racking up one of her more memorable shots of the afternoon. 3-1 with her 7-iron, misses the green with her tee shot. And Eugene, she's gonna go with 6. One more club. On safely. So, tee shot at number 16. She's 9 under. And the score is 3 off of Kochi 1's pace after 2 hours of play on moving day Saturday at the SIENA Open. So Guillorim close to the finish line. She's on 18. I'll have one last chance to tie her teammate. It's a clean sweep amongst the sponsored athletes. Kochi One, So Guillorim, and Issei He's so far. Kim Min-ju as well in the top 15. So far, so good for that group. Back with more on the other side. Hour 3 of the SIENA Open right after this.
앞에 이동 좀 멈춰주세요. 플레이했습니다.
And welcome back. It's Kim So-ah from off the green. In line. The birdie coming up next. Coach Yi Won will be satisfied with that effort. In case of mistaken identity for a moment. Okay, you say he. Doesn't quite stay straight long enough. Too much break coming in the last possible moment. This was the shot we were preparing for. Kim So-ah, 267, and she's almost able to reach the green with a gigantic swing. You say he 8-iron. 10 under par with just 2 holes to go. Her tee shot number 3. One she can work with.
괜찮은 거는 더 뻥뻥
Alright, G1 now. Trying to save a par. If she misses this putt, she would drop to be level with Sogyo-ri. Handles the pressure well. 67 round 1, 68 yesterday. She's on pace for a 69 today. Down to just 3 final holes. Yeon-Yo Jin. Big blast with the tee shot at 60. Kim So-jung on a rope. Excellent. this final stretch. Par 5, par 3, par 4 on the way in. Taking on a lot more intensity. Consider this the last proper tune-up. Excellent putt to save par for Coach Yuan at the last. Didn't need to look where that was going to land. She was confident in her swing, and she should have been. Into the fairway, and our final group is away on the trot. So Yarim is on the 18th and final hole. She's got 122 meters to go here. To the back right corner of the green. Pin, you know she'll have a right to left break putts. We'll still need to come uphill. We say here for birdie. A little extra time to settle the nerves. Narrowly off to the left. Turn around and slip in that par putt. Kimsawa is going to pitch high up in the air. Backspin to feather the landing. Around for EA1, it's the exact same type of situation as you say here. It's a two-putt par. Nicely putts. So has her birdie, another one. She can't hardly believe it. She won, looking for double digits. She's quietly about her business and has soared up the leaderboards. 3 under for the day. She was not quite anywhere in the consciousness of this tournament after just a 71 in the opening round, but with some very steady play, she is into a tie for 4th position. Two birdies and 1 bogey in the first round, and 7 birdies and 2 bogeys yesterday, and she's bogey free through 17 today. The next in the series of pars, knocked down. Second shot for Kochi 1, 291. The ping the ball makes as it heads to the dogleg left. Are now in the books. Then Eugene second, 55 meters per second off the wood. It's pretty rapid. So he's like some good power in that swing. Keeps so off the tee at 17, and she is just going to have enough side spin to reach the hill. Gravity takes over from there. Fist of triumph. Sonia Bean next on the tee at the 17. 9-iron for her, and is going to follow the same path. Check that one off the list. A good shot. Eugene from 106 meters. That's about 98 or 99 of what was remaining. Meters left for Kochi 1, and that's, ladies and gentlemen, is why she's leading this tournament, both in her score and her strokes gained from the approach. But through no fault of her own, so Gilream, in a moment of triumph, birdied the last to finalize her round of 66. That gives Kochi 1 just 3 final holes, pardon me, to find one more birdie to continue to be the wire-to-wire leader of this brand new tournament on the docket for 2026. A $1 billion prize pool, and 180 set aside for our eventual winner, whom we'll discover in about 24 hours' time. But if today's any indication, we are in for quite the race to the finish at the Siena Open. As we turn our attention back to 18, it's a little spot of trouble for Issei He. The pot bunker off the right of the fairway, approaching the green.
Whoa!
Some really impressive strength. Muscling up from admittedly a pretty hard-packed sand trap in the rain we got this morning. But to climb it quite like she did, it's a well done attempt at a sand save. Nice relief and excitement in one exclamation from the crowds. Good putts. And she's off to 17. Dramatic, at least in terms of the live for EA1, but equally as successful. Good on Coach Yuan. G1, 1, 2, 3, 123 meters. Lands pin high with her approach, a very solid one. So off for 11 under, no pushed. Extra time to do some landscaping around the ball marker. Good paying off on the short putts. Kim Soa also with her par, and on we go. We arrive back at 18 with the A1, the first to putts in the group. 5 under's tied for 17th position. It's gonna missed. Lots of right to left swing. Today on back-to-back rounds of 69. Needs a par here to keep herself at least at even for the day. She won the leader at 13 under now. Sends that 8 iron onto the 17th green. Here comes the break. It's a little late. And Eugene, 17 shot. Soa, 3 back. 10 under par, her 54th hole. Birdie takes her to 10 under par. One is the aforementioned par. Previously failed to factor in the bogey at 17. Didn't quite have the leaderboard refreshed in time, so she needed a birdie for even par today. Unfortunately for her, it's a 73. Which is tied for 17th after 3 rounds of play. Sahib's par finalizes a bogey-free round of 68. Three-way tie at 10 under. Call for Kim Ji-young too. Ji-won trying to extend her lead. It's an outside look at a birdie. Who are we to bet against her? Nicely done indeed. To 14 under, and once again looking down at a 2-stroke advantage. One. Big opportunity that was. Coach Ji-won's birdie at 17 brings her on pace for a 67. It would be the same score that she had in the opening round Thursday, topped only by Sogyo Reem's 6 under performance today. She was near flawless including a huge birdie at the last. The end of 3 in a row to move up from 5th position to outright 2nd at the end of play on Saturday.
왜 다 어디 갔어? 삼촌, 네.
너 혹시 떨어지어
여기.
여기 쉴 수 있냐?
글로요? 칠 수 있어요.
넘길 수 있어?
근데 저기로 가면
걸로 가도 돼.
위험할까?
괜찮아.
거기서 한번 찍어볼게요.
길 좋으면 괜찮아.
All right, so 3 very different situations at the minute. Unplanned walk, a nature walk at that. After the ball is on, and once it's found, how do you try to remove some of the leaves, also known as obstacles, without removing your ball and taking a penalty?
좀 보지 말고 지금 중계에 딱 중계.
네.
Wind has really picked up. If we hadn't put 2 and 2 together before Kim So-jung's hood almost blinded her vision just in time for the swing. This is shot 4 after the penalty. It's too much on it. Bounces once on the fringe and trampolines into the rough. That is what she'll look at for bogey.
쳐도 돼요? 네.
Kim So-ah, the only one, seemingly, from this threesome to not have had any issues. Certainly with the tee shots. Sonia Bean has cleared the path the best that she can. She has branches in the backswing and on the follow-through. Shots a preemptive 4. Curious as we are as to where that landed. He avoids the penalty. be shot 3. Need to get up and down to save a par.
어디 갔어요?
Keep herself at even par for the day. She would have been hoping that yesterday's 65 wasn't a flash in the pan, but unfortunately, it does appear to be the case.
좋은 점을 좀 미리 좀 부탁드릴게요.
Okay, Coach E1. Gallery behind her in search of career win number 3. Almost identical drive. She'll be right beside the leader in the fairway. So you mean 63 meters as she hoists this up. That is a marvelous series of events after the wayward drive. Sojong uses the fringe to slow her down, but still she'll be anxious. Sigh of frustration. Putt for double bogey. So not quite on it this time. It's not been a flawless back 9. Couple of bogeys in a row. By my count, only find this event and one event on the KLPGA Tour last year, again as an invited player. The Haita Jinro Championship, the major, where she finished tied for 44th So to say that she's on pace to smash a career best is an understatement. So Jung should be happy to see the bleeding stopped. She was on pace for an even par round. Unfortunately, the double sees her finish with a 74 on the day. It is a 72, just outside of the top 10 after 3 rounds, 6 under, tied for 11. So 69, just the same score she shot yesterday. Probably feels like a nobody pinch me. She's still in the dream. See if she can keep this up tomorrow. Sunday's always the toughest, we know that well. The green is cleared. 125 out for Kochi 1. Seven and a half meters above the flag. Drops it in center left. We could fairly say that that was a slight miss hit. Jean gets a boost from the gust of wind just as she struck the ball. G on 2, the last approach of the afternoon, 150. All the way to the back. Nice crowd so far. What a day it has been, or a week it has been for Coach E1. Today feels extra memorable with that hole-in-one, and you give her a ton of credit. Hit the turn with a 33. 4 pars in a row over that stretch halfway through the round. Bogey's the 12th, but immediately goes and gets that stroke back on the 13th. Par 14, 15. And I don't think she'll fancy her chances to make it 3 birdies consecutively to end the round. That is the opportunity in front of her. All the studying is done. Kim Jeong-tu with the first attempt. Looking for a birdie and nearly finding it. She has done an admirable job of showing how you can reset when things don't go your way. Admittedly, for her, it took way too long for that reset to happen. She played herself out of contention with her front 9, but since arriving on the back, no more bogeys, and a couple of birdies in the process. To make it a perfect 3 from 3. Put this at about 15 meters up the hill, breaking right. Here it comes. She knew exactly what it would do. 67, 68, and would you believe another 67 today. It's a two-stroke advantage from Sogyo Reem heading into tomorrow's Championship 18. Eugene to reach double digits. Be the fifth player there. Starts to move. A little bit more speed, and she had a chance. Tricky back for the young pro. Birdies of 5, 6, and 16 today, but a pair of bogeys 12 and 14. She's tied for 6th after 54.
Oh, yeah.
She missed. It's a tough take for Kim Ji-young, too. Tied for 30th at the end of the rounds. It is a 78, thanks in large part to a 43-7 on the way up. Bogeys of 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, so now 18. Double on hole number 3. How fast things can change in this sport. It's something we all know well as those who play recreationally or just love the sport and watch it every turn. But something else that is very true is that sometimes you can be surprised. And sometimes when you're on, and it seems like nothing can throw you off your rhythm. That was absolutely the case for Coach Ji-won and Sogyo Reem today. How about a ace from Park Sung-hyun? Earlier in the round, we had an unbelievable number of those today. All three of them coming on the front nine. First from Park Sung-hyun at number 4, and then 7 had a pair. And when your tournament leader is adding a hole-in-one, it's pretty representative, pardon me, of how they're going. That's EA1 as well, who seemingly has accomplished so much in this game and has another ball to maybe stick on the mantle. And Coach Ji-won, as promised, we'd get a look at it. Well, here is our look. 2 bounces and the last few feet roll in, and very subdued, relatively speaking, celebration. I will attribute that to shock as much as anything. And when she got on the green, she said, okay, let's celebrate this a little bit. Quite the moment. It came in the middle of a section of her round where things had gone quiet. Birdied the second, 4 pars consecutively, ace, then 4 more pars and a bogey before she was really able to turn things around and pick up 3 more on the way in to hold a 2-stroke advantage after 54 holes. So it all comes down to tomorrow's final round. She's in search, as Coach Ji-won, of her 3rd career title, trying to do it in just the 2nd event of the season. And Sogyo Reem carry over that momentum from her 66 today, a 7-birdie performance. Can Kim So-ah, the amateur, make a splash in the final round? She's tied for 3rd with Lee Se-hee and Han Ji-won. the questions, the storylines we will ponder over the next 21 hours before we're right back on the air to do this again. I want to thank our fabulous crew and, of course, you, the viewer, for your continued viewership and support of the LPGA Tour of Korea. I've been Adam Jenkins, signing off from the SIENA Voluto Country Club. The SIENA Open 2026 concludes tomorrow. Hope you'll join us. See you then, and good night.
잘했어. 좋다.